Well, hey folks, Real on Super Retro Rentals, my review of WWE Super Showdown, which was decent overall. Some fun times, some not so fun times, some really shit times, in fact. But when it was good to great, it was really fun, and I'm really glad I tuned in. And when it was shit, I was regretting my decision to watch it. But overall, I can't say I hated the show. It was more than a one match show, unlike the Greatest Royal Rumble. And of course, we got Crown Jewel coming up. They got to hype that. They actually hyped that a little bit here. And also Evolution, which, by the way, Evolution takes place 5 days before Crown Jewel. What a lovely slap in the face of the ladies. I'm happy Melbourne got this show. Melbourne, Australian fans are very passionate about wrestling. Or the vast majority of them are, and they paid big prices for this, so it's nice they were able to get this show. Hopefully WWE can make this an annual event, at least once a year, because it's not like they won't have the money from TV contracts. And it's not like there isn't a market in Australia to have something like this. So hopefully they do. There's some great video packages, either during the entrances of some of the stars for the big matches, or before the matches even started. And that was really, really cool. Focus more on the ring and less on the backstage. If they could do that more for Raw and SmackDown, it actually would kind of fucking work. And they maybe could drive the ratings up a little bit. Less fluff, more action. But anyway, you had some pyro and everything. And then you start off with the SmackDown Live tag titles. The Bar versus New Day, which was Xavier and Kofi. I guess Big E was tired because he had to carry Xavier and Kofi in his pouch all the way through customs. Yes, kangaroo jokes, I've got them. Speed versus power for sure. Kofi and Xavier did have some nice moments. And then the Bar cut off the ring, attacking Kofi. Xavier eventually got the hot tag. There was no doubt the Bar were going to lose here. And they lost clean. They didn't even lose dirty. They lost clean. So I don't think they really can get necessarily clamor for a rematch without getting a number one contenders match, like in maybe beating Sanity. I would rather have Sanity built back up and beat the New Day. That's what they should do. Where the dick has Sanity been anyway? But the whole point is New Day won. It was what it was. They retained. Okay, cool. And then you get to the SmackDown Live Women's title. Becky versus Charlotte, and this was good. This was good. Becky was super over. Charlotte less over. There was some nice grappling, some good chops, a couple good spear spots, a couple good spots where Becky was focusing on the arm and everything. The really good exchanges here on this. The DQ finish didn't bother me because there was one point where Becky took the title and was trying to leave because they're still trying to make Becky the heel and it's not fucking working. We're going to fucking cheer Becky because it's not that we disrespect Charlotte or hate Charlotte, but people like Becky. People think Becky, deserves this championship. And she does. Well, anyway, she's trying to leave. Charlotte runs her in the barricade, gets her in there, and the title's in the ring. But Charlotte tries to transition into figure 8 after getting the figure 4 on. And Becky takes the title and hits her with it. I mean, she doesn't hit her with it hard, but, since she's using a foreign object, it ends up being a DQ. Charlotte tries to beat Becky up. Becky beats Charlotte up, leaves her lane. So we're obviously going to get this match again at Evolution. For the love of God, do not give it back to Charlotte. Do not have Charlotte regain the title. They probably will have that. Find a way to get Charlotte over to Raw after the Rumble. Maybe have her win the Royal Rumble if they really want to give her that. And then she can choose which champion she's going to face and then decide to jump to Raw to face Ronda Rousey. Becky retaining here was fine. I certainly had no issue with it. It was good stuff for what it was. It was enjoyable, and Becky retaining meant that this show's grade actually went up a little bit. So that was pretty cool. And then Elias and Owens were in the ring doing a skit. I assume they made some kind of rugby reference or something. I don't know. It was a reference, I think, to an Australian sports team. I don't honestly follow Australian sports at all. So any Australian fans, let me know in the comments who Elias referred to. I have no idea. But Elias really, really getting so much better at that guitar. That's really cool. And this match was basic because it was Elias and Owens versus Lashley and a returning John Cena. John Cena, who has visited Hair Club for Men recently, or something, because even though he's kind of balding up top a little bit, he's got more hair. It's almost like he's trying to go back to his Thugonomic days when he had more hair. Lashley dominated first, and then the ring got cut off, and Elias and Owens were beating up Lashley, and beating up Lashley, and beating up Lashley. And literally, Cena gets tagged in, shoulder tackle, or a couple shoulder tackles, 5-knuckle shuffle, the AA, and then he hits that weird punch thing that he has the sixth move of doom and pins Elias. So Elias just lost to John Cena. It is what it is. This again is essentially a glorified house show, but it's just it kind of damages Elias. But I mean, I don't think there was any doubt really that Cena was probably going to get the victory. But then Cena gives a speech where it almost sounds like maybe Cena's retiring. Maybe. I mean, he is filming more movies. He has beat his body up a whole bunch. Maybe Mania 35 is going to be his last hurrah. I mean, I kind of hope it is, and I think that's what it should be. He should have maybe an appearance at the Rumble if you really want to do that. Have him wrestle and put over somebody at Mania 35, and then if he wants to go off into the sunset, that's fine. If he wants to make sporadic appearances, cool. But if he wants to retire pretty much as a competitor, let him. Honestly, even though he has done a lot in the company, he doesn't really need to do anything more. Besides winning the Intercontinental title, I think it's the only thing he hasn't done. So it is what it is. The match wasn't very good. Lashley and Cena win. Okay, whatever. Billy and Peyton versus Asuka and Naomi. Billy and Peyton getting a very nice home country welcome. That was very, very cool. Asuka, good God, I could watch Asuka dance for hours and not get bored of it. The Iconics, hugely over. Asuka, unfortunately, Asuka means absolutely nothing now. She's teaming with Naomi. If she's having fun, that's fine. If she doesn't mind this role she's casting, that's fine. I just hate seeing her like this because she doesn't deserve this. She really deserves a whole lot better. They jobbed her out to Carmella, and it was absolute dog shit. Because it did nothing for either performer. Like, Carmella is now a babyface with R-Truth. Her title reign basically meant nothing because they turned her so soon after. But anyway, back to this match. Yeah, you had Asuka hit some dominating moves and stuff like that. But yeah, you had Billy and Peyton get the victory. They pinned Naomi. That was really, really nice. I believe it was Billy that pinned Naomi. And they got to celebrate a big win in their home country. Seeing where they've come from, growing up, wrestling in Australia, then getting to the States, and seeing where they've been able to, seeing how they've been able to wrestle since. That's fantastic. It's fan-fucking-tastic. I'm really happy for them. Even if the match was it was all about them getting a big, big win and getting to celebrate with all their people. That was really, really nice. Getting to celebrate with their home country. That was really cool. And then you had the WWE title, Joe versus Styles. No DQ, no countout. There must be a winner. This was divisive. I did not like it as much as their SummerSlam match. I don't even know if I liked it as much as their Hell in a Cell match. This had excellent parts in it. But overall, Joe was over as hell. So was Styles. It started outside. They were attacking each other and stuff like that. There were some hard chops, some hard kicks. Joe dominates for a while. He hit a nice big clothesline. I believe what he used to call the Island Driver. He used it on Christopher Daniels in 2006. That was really nice. There was a bad table spot where Joe seemed to hurt his knee, and I don't know if it was a planned spot and Joe was just supposed to sell his knee or if he was legit hurt. Because I wonder, given the finish. Now, I think the finish is what it was supposed to be. But I don't know, because it was really, really odd. I mean, Joe seemed to move okay after that. Maybe, and he could have just been selling. But I kind of wonder sometimes, because he has had knee problems in the past. And he's also almost 40. It's not like it's not like Joe's any spring chicken. I'm not saying he's old, but he's had a lot of miles on his body. But this match, there was a good amount of near falls. And it's not the Styles look bad, but this would have been the perfect opportunity to give Joe the win. It really would have been, but I knew they weren't going to give Joe the win. And that's what was frustrating about it. I mean, AJ eventually got the calf crusher on, even after it seemed like Joe might actually get the victory. There were some chair shots, of course there were. And after the calf crusher, he gets the calf crusher on. Well, since the rope break won't work, Joe realizes this and just taps out. And taps out pretty quickly. So Styles retains. I don't know if they soon advertise that he's going to have a WWE title match at Crown Jewels, so maybe he'll lose it there. Maybe he'll lose it at Survivor Series. Maybe he'll hold it till the Rumble and break CM Punk's record of 434 days as champion. That would give Styles about 450, I think. It was what it was. It wasn't. I didn't hate this match as much as other people did. I hated the finish, do not get me wrong. I didn't like Joe tapping out. I mean, Joe has tapped out before, but I'm not saying that's the worst thing in the world. One, I hope Joe's not hurt. Two, I don't know where you go with Joe from here unless he's going to beat Nakamura for the U.S. title. But then that's heel versus heel, and I don't know if that's going to do any good. I don't know what the fuck they do with Joe now. You move him back to Raw and swap somebody else to SmackDown and have Joe versus Reigns for the Universal title. I don't know what you do here. It's almost a lose-lose situation. Styles could have lost the championship and been fine, but Joe didn't win it, and now I'm wondering if he's just back to square one. Even though Joe is still over as hell. It's kind of becoming like the Nakamura thing, where Nakamura lost so many title matches, or, couldn't win the title so many times, you had to wonder what the fuck they were going to do. So, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. But then Ronda Rousey and the Bellas. Ronda Rousey got cheered. The Riot Squad got cheered. The Bellas did not get cheered. And I'm happy that Australia booed them because I'm sorry, you can like the Bellas all you want if you're watching this show. You should know I don't like the Bellas. Can't stand them. They're useless as far as I'm concerned. I get that they have a big fan base. I get they sell a lot of merch. Total Divas, Total Bellas is popular. I get that. Nikki, people say Nikki has improved in the ring. Well, you can't really get any worse than she was, from where she started. And then Brie ended up, Brie's just like fucking rotten. I don't care if it's ring rust or whatever. She's rotten. So they did have this bad tongue spot at one point because Liv was beating down Brie, and then Brie grabs, Liv's blue tongue, and it was so stupid. It was so damn dumb. It was so damn dumb. The crowd was not into this very much, besides cheering for Ronda. I mean, they were cheering for the Riot Squad a little bit, and they were booing the Bellas, but they weren't as invested in this. The Bellas were beat up a lot. That was pretty nice. Ronda at one point, gets the tag in, takes over, and just beats everybody up, and then beats Sarah. Gets Sarah and gets Liv, and decides to essentially put on a double armbar and do that and everything, and that was pretty damn cool. I can't say that was necessarily the greatest spot and everything, but it was pretty damn cool. So then you have that, and it was what it was. It happened, and okay, Ronda celebrates. They didn't pull the trigger on Nikki turning on Ronda yet, so they'll probably do it on Raw. I don't know. I have no desire to watch Nikki versus Ronda at Evolution, even though we're getting it. It's stupid. It's really fucking stupid. And then we move on to Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight title, and this was the match of the night. Easily fucking-tastic match. Well done, well executed. Near falls Buddy over as hell. Cedric was even getting some boos, which I think is a bit... I don't think it's because they hated Cedric. They just wanted Buddy to get the victory. And he did get the victory. Thankfully, he got the victory. It started off hot with Buddy getting some near falls. Cedric took over. Beautiful Michinoku driver off the top. You had some great exchanges. Buddy kicked out a lumbar check. My God, that was insane. And then soon Murphy's Law, 1, 2, 3. He got to celebrate. It was emotional and everything. And everybody got to celebrate with him. And it was really, really nice that he got to do that. That was really cool that he got to celebrate in front of his hometown crowd. My thing is about it is that I don't know. He just... Not that the finish fell flat. I almost feel like this match would have benefited from being on 205 Live. Because even though it was in Australia, I'm glad that Buddy got this got this hometown pop. But I almost wish that they would have just filmed this for 205 something. It feels like almost like only half the people that should have seen this saw this. I just feel like they could have done better with it. Like making this Buddy's moment. Like everything was a perfect storm of him capturing his hometown. But maybe it was just a show overall. Maybe it was just the fact that it felt like a glorified house show. Good on Buddy for winning. And I certainly hope he has a long reign. Shout out to Noah's Lynch. I believe he said that it should be Ali versus Buddy Murphy at Mania 35 for the Cruiserweight title. Good idea. I hope they do that. It's a great idea, Noah. Keep up those ideas. I did enjoy this match, even with even with the weird stuff that I just said there. I did enjoy this match. And then we have Braun and Dolphin Drew versus The Shield. This is where the show started to go massively downhill. And I mean, it went off a freaking steep cliff into a goddamn ravine, whatever the hell I'm saying. The bell did not ring. There was a brawl at first and everything. This was essentially a brawl. I mean, there was action in the ring and stuff like that. It slowed down to rest holds. Big shock. Dolphin rest holds is like he's 2003, 2004 Randy Orton. Um, Seth, Seth was dominated for a while. The other Shield members were taken out. um, Ambrose was beat up also. Of course, you got Reigns. He got tagged. Reigns got booed pretty damn heavily. The Shield even got kind of booed when they made their entrance because people are tired of Reigns. Big shock. Vince doesn't hear that. He only sees money, which I don't blame him. I mean, if somebody makes money, that's fine. But Reigns still isn't over like he needs him to be. But it is what it is. There was a Superman punch to Dean that was okay. Like that's just a little tease and everything. It was a Superman punch on accident, but it happened. After a bunch of brawling and stuff like that, and a bunch of false finishes, Dean hits. Everybody hits some big moves. Everybody's out of the ring except Dolph and Dean. Dean hits Dirty Deeds 1, 2, 3, and Dean gets a victory for the Shield. Great. Okay, cool. They had this one cool spot where the Dogs of War surrounded Seth and Roman during the match, and then Dean got up on the other side, like on the fourth side of the ring, and it looked like Dean might be joining. Then he didn't. He attacked Braun, and then he did that, and then the finish came when Dean hit Dolph with the Dirty Deeds. It was okay. It wasn't great. I mean, it just... Dolph taking the pin didn't bother me because Dolph's pretty much irrelevant, even as tag team champion. But it was what it was. And then we go to Miz versus Bryan, a number one contenders match for the WWE Championship. It turns out that whoever gets this title shot gets it a crown jewel. This match was 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Miz attacking Bryan's ribs. I don't know what the reason was for this being so short. It's like in what? Bryan hits a couple moves, Miz hits the right knee, and then Bryan gets a quick roll up, like, an inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. Was it a shoot? Did Miz get popped for a wellness violation? Was Bryan hurt? Was Miz hurt? Were they running low on time? I'm guessing running low on time because I think Joe and Styles went long. I think the six-man tag with the Shield and the Doges of War went a bit long. If that's the case, if you thought the show was going to go long, why'd you even have the tag title match on there? Because this deserved a bit of a longer run. Like, is that how you're going to cool off this feud right here? Like, they had a decent match at SummerSlam, which it wasn't great. An okay mixed tag match at Hell in a Cell, and then here, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. You could tell the story that Bryan beat Miz with a wrestling hold and everything, because Bryan knows more wrestling holds than Miz, obviously. But I don't quite get the point of this. And then, Miz is upset maybe because the ref botched. I thought the ref botched something. The show ended up ending on time, so I was like, okay, maybe they ran long and need to cut that match. But I'm just like, why didn't you cut like some of the women's match then? Like some of the women's six woman tag, which I mean I feel bad about because I love the Riot Squad and Ronda Rousey, but cut something. Cut a little. Have the 6-man tag run, or get cut short a little bit. It just, I don't know what the hell the deal with this was. It was really, really, really odd. But then we get to Triple H versus Undertaker for the last time ever in a singles match, because we're getting a tag match at Crown Jewel. It's been basically advertised without being advertised. This was good fucking grief. I'm all for nostalgia. This was absolute shit. I did not expect an instant classic. I just expected something that didn't make me wish that these guys did not step in the goddamn ring. Shawn was in Triple H's corner. Kane was in Taker's corner. And there were about 15 minutes of entrances. You could have had Miz and Bryan continue their match during all the rest parts that were in this match. Now, I get that these guys are older. Taker's 53, 54. Triple H's 48, 49. Shawn's in his 50s. Kane, I think, is 50, 51, or close to 50. This was just really shit. I'm sorry. This was absolute crap. I hated this. I fucking hated this. I'm glad that people enjoyed it. Really, if you guys enjoyed this trip down nostalgia lane, memory lane, that's cool. I'm not gonna fault you guys for that. If these guys want to get out there and wrestle, that's fine. I know why this match closed the show, but good God, this was terrible. There was some interference and some table spots. Like there was a table spot where Triple H uh, did one of the weakest table spots with Kane. It was just terrible. There was nothing really good about this match. I'm sorry, there wasn't. Like, it was their Mania 27 and 28 match. Maybe actually a little bit of their 17 match. It was all three of those mixed in, but these guys were sick, even after the Mania 28 match, these guys were nearly 7 years older. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't. Yeah, chair shots. You did have a throat chair shot where there was a chair on Taker's throat, and Triple H did that. You had Triple H being laid out with chairs earlier. Shawn was visibly upset. Shawn must have glued his hat onto his head or something, or at least suctioned it onto his head, because all the bumps he took, his hat didn't fall off till later. Ugh. This was. They were calling the spots so loudly too. That's one of the big problems with having cameras with such good mics and having mics everywhere. Is anybody that calls spots, you can hear it clearly. Triple H wanted to end it. It was a sweet chin music, sloppy sweet chin music, and then a pedigree, sloppy pedigree. 1, 2, 3. Triple H won. Everybody's celebrating at the end, holding arms, everything, stuff like that, celebrating. And then Triple H and Shawn get attacked by Taker and Kane to set up that tag match, Brothers of Destruction versus DX at Crown Jewel, because we still are not over the Attitude Era, or even the Ruthless Aggression Era, despite the fact those eras have been long gone. I'm all for nostalgia, but this was this is one of the worst matches of the year. It was, I think it was close to 30 minutes, and 22 minutes of that was like just them laying around. It is what it is. Like, look, they want to get out and do this stuff, it's fine. But I stayed up and watched it. I'm not going to say I regret watching it, but this was really, really bad. I'm going to say C+ for the show. C+ to B-, because Buddy and Cedric was pretty good. Becky and Charlotte was pretty good. Iconics game the win was pretty nice. Actually, I'll go up B-. I'll go to B-. I'll go very, very B-, because it was pretty ridiculous. Actually, fuck it, I'm gonna go to a C+, because I just can't. I just can't give this any kind of B grade with those last three matches. So I hope nothing bad happened to Miz or Bryan. I hope it was just a time constraint thing, but it was pretty ridiculous. And obviously Miz is going to interfere in that match, and we're going to see what happens there. So anyway, thanks guys for putting up with this review. Apologies to my voice, by the way. I'm a little shot from being tired. But anyway, do you agree? Do you disagree with what I said? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. It's been real awesome with John Ritlin, and I will see you soon.